Have your chickens been having trouble laying eggs lately? I want to know. The reason why is because I saw on this website, I won't say where someone was talking about people all over the country, their chickens not laying any eggs in winter, which they drop significantly for a lot of people, but dropping down to zero eggs. Now, I have two chickens that laid all winter. That was my Red Star and my Leghorn. And my Leghorn even started dying down how often she laid her eggs. And my Red Star kept laying every day like a champ, right? But all the other chickens quit. Well, anyway, I was going to show you guys what I started doing. Well, I mix them treats up all the time anyway, but we were having a hard time affording even cat food. So I quit doing this some for a while. Also, I can't remember what all the different reasons were. But I order from Azure the Scratch and Peck feed, which has gone up another $6 for the 40 pounds. So it's, oh, what, 2 or 3 times as expensive as feed from your local tractor store, right? And anyway, this lady was saying that they think that the government is literally putting, stuff in the feed and it's poisoning the chickens. Now, I know some of y'all will say, oh, it's a conspiracy theory, fake news, whatever. And that's fine, because I would like to know, are your chickens laying on the conventional feed all right now, or are they not laying? And you've got to remember, even if it wasn't a conspiracy, all the glyphosate in the grains, they spray all the grains of glyphosate now, which kills gut bacteria and all. It's like an industrial salt. So I don't know what it is. All that I know is that, just like this lady was saying, my chickens don't want to eat it. Like, they quit eating it. They won't even touch it hardly. Only if they're starving and there's nothing else for them to touch. Then the scratch, they quit touching the scratch too. The mixed stuff, I can get it at Woods. It's got like corn and little berries and all kinds of stuff in there. Like little, not like berries, like little seed berry type stuff. I'm not sure what all it is. And I know that stuff's not great for them, but they kind of need to be fattened up for winter anyway, right? So anyway, I do remember when some guy, and I'll remind you guys, I live in the city limits, but this city, nobody cares, okay? I have roosters, nobody cares. Nobody listens to the rules of the dogs and having trouble with them. Some guy's pig got loose one day, and I've had donkeys get loose around our property. And so anyway, when he was coming to try to get that pig, he mentioned to me, keep your chickens laying eggs by giving them cat food. And sure enough, it does work, because there's more protein in it and there's actual like meat and stuff in it. And chickens are omnivores, like this one lady was saying. They do need other stuff besides meat. She sounded like she might be a little bit snobby. I can't tell, because she kind of whatever. So all that I know is that, let me think. I usually give them, like, I'll take the Scratch and Peck from Azure because it's too expensive for me. So I can't feed them that all the time, but I'll take a big scoop of it with the cheaper organic stuff like alfalfa and wheat and oats. They're all animal grade from Azure, and I'll kind of soak it to get it, big and fluffy. But I usually put a scoop of that conventional feed in there so it kind of binds together with some cat food. I'm afraid to give them the feed now because I've noticed, like, when I ran out of the Scratch and Peck, and it's hard for me to be able to get to my Azure drop because it always falls around weeks when I have my pain management doctor or dentist or something. So anyway, since I've run out of that, they hardly touch the feed. I mean, this last bag I've bought especially, and it's like they just don't touch it. And I mean, I don't understand it unless it's mixed up with other stuff. So I'm like, well, crap, I can't effing afford to, be buying this organic stuff because of what they're doing to the, chicken feed. I don't know what they're doing. I don't want to sit here and make accusations that's going to get me in trouble, but I will say the chickens don't like it. They don't want to eat it, and they're not laying eggs when they do eat it. So I started giving them this, and I usually give them this as a treat when I can anyway, but like I said, for various reasons, I wasn't, and the egg production went down dramatically, so I was like, I know I need to do more, because I think a lot of it really is just protein. They need protein, because in the winter, they need extra protein, period, because they molt and stuff, so that alone helps. But I noticed that since everyone complained about the egg production dropping more than usual, the youngest chicken I had was the one that became disabled, which really tells me something too. And since I've started feeding her this, she has gotten healthier and healthier, and she moves around a lot more, thank God. So what I do is I have, see, there's one big scoop of the organic wheat berries in there from Azure. I know this looks messy, but the chickens will love it. And I have a scoop of the animal grade oats. I don't want to get their oats this time. The first time I got their animal grade oats, they were great. This time, they all look like they were harvested too early, and the seeds are really tiny, and it's almost all whole and almost no seed. Like, they're not even, I don't know. They're just not nearly as good a quality. A lot of dirt in it this time. Whereas the animal grade wheat berries looks like human grade. It's amazing. And hardly anything in it. And the last time we had the oats, it was too. But the second time we got the oats from Missouri, it was not even close to good quality. So anyway, I have some oats in here that we're still working through since it was low quality. I don't give them too much. They won't eat it. And just pokes at them since it's, not in good shape. And then the wheat berries, and I do alfalfa. I think it's somewhere on the bottom. The alfalfa, they don't want it when it's like dry because it's too compact, but you soak it with water. I'm going to put more water in here, and it gives them the greens that they need. If you are not having enough greens right now this time of year, even if they're free ranging, the alfalfa gives them those nice, yolks and everything that are so nice and orange when they get their greens. And of course I have a big scoop of cat food in there, and it helps the wheat and the cat food bump up their protein. And this time I cooked some of my cheap field peas that I grew myself. And, we eat them too, we love them, but I was like, it's kind of freaking me out that I noticed they're not eating their chicken food. So I decided to cook some of our field peas and definitely save some seeds to grow this year because they grow so easy here. And I threw in some seaweed that I had. I always throw in kelp or seaweed for extra, minerals and stuff. And then all the extra pumpkin seeds that we didn't roast or eat and that we're not keeping for, growing. And I'm going to mix all this up, add a little bit more water. I do also add, let me find this. This is what really has helped. Sorry that I'm turning a little spice wheel. This oregano oil has really, really helped with any kind of illness. And I got this too. They suggest this on like some of the backyard chicken groups and things for that chicken that has some problems. I also add some cinnamon, some parsley, all different kinds of goodies that really bump up their health and their production. Some ACV, a splash of that, brewer's yeast. I put some of that in there. And I'll probably end up putting some yogurt in there too after I know this is cooled off good. And the difference when I started feeding them this again, I went from getting 1 to 2 eggs a day to like 5 a day in just 2 or 3 days. So they're already producing a lot more eggs. And this is during the middle of snow. There's still snow on the ground melting. And it snowed, when was it? On the 24th. And there's still snow out there. So this is after tons of snow and wet feet. They can't even come out because I'm not letting them out till I fix all the bird netting. They have 2 smaller runs that are completely covered, which are kind of like hoop coops, but they're runs attached to the actual coop. Like we have a real coop built, and then we have like the hoop coop, that stuff, but it's built as runs. And they're just in those for now because we have hawks already. I was repairing the ducks bird netting yesterday. Sure enough, as it turned around, there's a hawk flying off like, oh, darn, it was hoping I'd let the ducks out without the netting. And these I call them city hawks. I know we kind of live in the country anyway, but I'm like, you lazy old buzzards. You can't even go eat animals out in the mountains. There are hundreds and thousands of acres of mountains around us. Literally like a fly away, but it's going to come in the city and try to take our birds, So anyway, I can't let them out without that. I know I can. A lot of people do. But even if I let him out right now, the leghorn can get up in my dog's pen. He'd kill her. He's already killed a Fiume. And another thing I have a problem with is when springtime comes, those cochins are all going to go broody. And my, I don't know what you call it, the blue one, it looks kind of like Easter egg, but I think it's like a Savacana or something weird. She goes broody too. So if I have a bunch of broody hens and I don't have that bird netting up, it's not only the hawks I'll have to worry about, I have to worry about crows too, and all kinds of stuff. So, but anyway, I hope that this helps some of y'all if you're having trouble with egg production, whether or not you believe in any weird conspiracy stuff. Like I said, I do think that even if, it was all just a matter of time before the quality of chicken feed goes way down because of all the chemicals they spray on our grains today that are not organic. And then also, they do just go down in winter, period. A lot of chickens, I don't know, the way this person was saying that, I was like, I've heard of a lot of people that say they get 0 eggs in winter. What about you? Do y'all get 0 eggs in winter? Have y'all had it before? Because I'm like, this person's freaking me out. So give me some good news. Thanks.